Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my future card, Buddyfight, Abygale, Darkness Dragon World deck profile for post the 10th anniversary set. We were given new support to help with the generic power of Darkness Dragon World and the Black Dragon Abygale deck as well. This deck focuses on the original Revival Buddy, Black Death Dragon Abygale, and the mill power that the deck can provide with the impact monsters that we run in the additional Black Dragons, and also some of the new added Darkness Dragon World support that I mentioned before as well. Very, very happy with the addition of the new support. It just makes it all the more powerful for setting up your different Darkness Dragon World Black Dragons on the field to be able to make use of just draining away your opponent's deck by having them mill cards repeatedly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for our buddy, we are running the Black Death Dragon Abygale Revival Buddy, and with our flag being Darkness Dragon World, we're additionally running 4 additional copies of this monster in the main deck as well. The call cost is pay 1 gauge. If a Black Dragon is set on your field, this card's size is reduced by 1, meaning you can run additional other size monsters on the field as well. With the biggest play with this comes in the form of our impact monster being a size 3, so we can at least keep our Revival Buddy on the field while this card is on the field also. And counter, Winds of Redemption, pay 2 life. If you do destroy a Black Dragon on your field or a card on your opponent's field, if destroyed, draw a card and put the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck into the drop zone. So having double attack as well for a 2k hit against your opponent. The big play comes in the form of the fact that, this card can obviously mill your opponent quite easily, and then have the additional setup for drawing a card on top of destroying your opponent's cards or your own as well, which destroying your own can also be beneficial because we are also running 4 copies of Light Ray Black Death Dragon Abygale. You put a Black Dragon from your drop into its soul and pay 1 gauge. All Black Dragons set on your field cannot be destroyed or returned to the hand by your opponent's card effects. And when a card is destroyed, drop the 3 cards, or when this card is destroyed, you drop the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if a monster is among them, draw a card. So this, using your own Black Death Dragon to target it, will be a mill 6 alone from your opponent's cards, and there's a monster among them. You'll be drawing 1 off the Revival Buddy and this card as well. For added protection against our opponent's attacks, 4 copies of Ruler of the Battle Zone Abygale. For counter, during an attack your opponent's turn, you may put this card from your drop on the bottom of your deck and pay 1 gauge. If you do, nullify the attack. So just good options when you're milling your own cards for you to be able to have this card as another potential destruction from your field to the drop, and then just placing it on the bottom of the deck for more of a shuffle back option of being able to stop an opponent's attack. We're also running 3 copies of Black Crest Dragon Lady Z. Pay 1 gauge for the call cost. When it's destroyed, draw a card. Then you may call a size 1 or less Black Dragon from your hand by paying its call cost. So this just allows you to respond more on your opponent's turn, being able to destroy this card with our own Abygale, and then just grab another one from our hand that we have as well. With some of the 1-ofs for our size 0s being 1 copy of Dark Burial Apostle Devos Haraj and 1 Black Crest Dragon Vidor Nov, having the option with Vidor Nov to search an impact by destroying another Black Dragon on the field, and then also being able to use our Devos Haraj for the same option for a set card as well. Our impact monster includes the 3 copies of Abygale Armed Howl Bringer, with this card's call cost being to destroy 1 or more Black Dragon on your field and pay 3 gauge. When it enters the field during the final phase, you may put a Black Dragon impact from your drop or onto the bottom of the deck, and then you drop the top 9 cards of your opponent's deck and also up to 3 of your opponent's gauge and deal them 3 damage. This just takes away all of their resources while also giving you 3 life as well. 9 cards off the top of your deck can hit for a pretty big number of cards on top of all the other ones we mentioned already in the deck also. The other impact that we need, since we have to put back a Black Dragon impact as well, is Blood Dragon Ceremony, Bloody Operate. This counts as a Black Dragon order, so it's also got a counter, so you don't have to use it during the final phase, so you can save room for the Armed Howl Bringer during the final phase to use for your impact. Just using the cast cost for pay 2 gauge to counter and call a Black Dragon monster from your drop by paying its call cost. Very easy to use just during the attack step as well with this impact, and then set it up for Armed Howl Bringer. For the new cards from the 10th anniversary set, 4 copies of Curse Ritual, Revival Spell, Revival Buddy, with this card being a great addition to any Darkness Dragon World deck. Destroy a monster on your field, choose and use one of the following 3. You may only cast Curse Ritual, Revival Spell once per turn. You put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge, gain 2 life, and draw a card. You can call up to 2 Darkness Dragon World or Executioner monsters with different sizes from your drop by paying their call cost, or counter, you can destroy up to 3 cards on your opponent's field. All power depending on how you want to use this card. The last one being a counter, so you can use that one on your opponent's turn, but just being able to call more additional cards in the field also. It's a great use of your destruction for your monsters on your field, just to benefit from that destruction also. We're also running 3 copies of Midnight Shadow Revival Spell. This card cannot be nullified. You counter and choose and use one of the following 2. You can either, for the first turn, the damage you take from an attack becomes 0, and from an opponent's card effect becomes 0, or you can destroy up to 1 card in the field. Your opponent chooses it and drops a hand card. Being able to just drop a hand card from your opponent on top of all the other stuff we're doing to their deck just means less and less resources for them to use as well, thanks to this card. We're also running 4 copies of For the Future. It's just more setup, being able to add that needed monster if we have Abygale from our gauge on the field. Being able to choose the card in just a random selection as well by having Abygale just makes this a good use of searching and setting up gauge for us to use also. This card is very useful for setting up the 3 gauge we need for Armed Hellbringer also. We're also running 4 copies of Black Regalo because we have to be able to at least have more of a life gain resistance as well, setting up more gauge by destroying a black dragon on our field. And then if you have a black dragon set on your field, gain 3 life, which we'll get over to the set cards in just a bit. But before then, 3 copies of Light of Destiny, just being able to put the top card of your deck in your gauge and then search for a monster name with Abygale. 3 copies of Black Ritual for the added draw power by destroying a black dragon on the field as well. And then also the 3 copies of Darkness Healing. You counter by destroying a monster on your field, gain 2 life, and if you have a black dragon set on your field, gain 2 life additionally. So this is also just another way to respond to the destruction of your black dragon, and then additional life gain on top of it. For the one-ofs in the deck as well, the set cards being the 1 copy of Execution Ground, being able to have just more of a setup for gauge with this card when a soul goes into a black dragon on your field. The 1 death gauge timer, once again setting up more gauge, and when the timer runs out, dropping all of your opponents. And then the last one of being the 1 copy of Abyss Symphony, just for a pay 1 gauge, draw 2 if you have 6 life or less. With all the life casting that we cost in this deck, it can come in handy just as a draw 2 option to use as well for hand resource. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. I've been enjoying updating these Buddyfight decks. These are a couple late stragglers to the other ones that I released when the anniversary set first initially came out. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.